Okay, I see everyone's joining, so probably we can start the webinar today, and more participants will join us soon, I guess. So greetings and a warm welcome to all the participants. Thank you for joining us today. As you are already aware, the purpose of this webinar is to take you through the best practices of using driver monitoring in a fleet environment, and will present the Cipia FS10 device and its operation with Wialon. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mirza Mohammed Nawaz, and I'm a technical growth manager at Wialon. From the Cipia team, we have Ronn, who is the vice president of aftermarket business at Cipia. So yeah, there are our pictures. So on the next slide, we have the topics for today. So as you can see, we'll be firstly discussing the best ways to utilize the driver monitoring data. And then Israel will show you a cool video of the Cipia FS10 features and the driver monitoring and video features. And then I'll take over and present to you how you can use these device with Wialon. And I'll present mainly the Wialon interface to you. And after that, Israel will continue by showing you the cost optimization tools and a real life use case of FS10 device. So we have plenty of topics to cover. So I hope you will all enjoy this session. I'll pass the mic to Israel, and please proceed, Israel.
Okay, first of all, good morning, good afternoon, everybody, depending where you are. As Nawaz mentioned, I'm Ronn, and I'm the Vice President of the Aftermarket at Cipia. And we will take you through the product, and then Nawaz will take you through the Wialon operation with the product. But first, I would like to begin with telling you a little bit about Cipia. Cipia is a computer vision company that has very strong algorithm capabilities together with automotive knowledge. Company exists from 2003 and actually dealing solely from automotive since 2016. We do have two business lines. One of the business lines is OEM Tier 1, when we serve the automotive industry, and here we are selling them driver monitoring algorithms and libraries. Okay, this is very important because this brings us to an automotive level quality, which is a little bit rare to be found in the aftermarket. But we have passed the barriers of the auto industry, and we are considered, by the way, by Euro NCAP as one of the three leaders of driver monitoring in this industry. In this area, by the way, we do have 28 models working with 5 OEMs in China and the United States. And a few of these models are already running on the road, not only in development process. So we acquired actual field experience on the OEM side. Now, the second business line is the aftermarket. And this is the area I am responsible to. And here we are selling the Cipia FS10, which is a video telematics driver monitoring device, and it will be the center of our presentation in this webinar. Now, the Cipia FS10 is sold in many places of the world, something like over 20 countries, where LATAM, India, Australia, Middle East, are main markets, and we do have presence in the United States as well. Maybe two important points to mention in addition. One, as accreditation to our algorithmic capability, Mobileye, whom I assume many of you are aware of, has chosen us as mobile-size solution for driver monitoring applications for the OEM Tier 1 market, and this is important. And secondly, Cipia is a public company, so we are not nobody. We are traded at the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, and everybody actually can see how well we are doing if you want to. Now, let's go and give a short review on the Cipia FS10. And Cipia FS10 in its basic is a driver monitoring system which has the full set of DMS features. We are covering all the capabilities that are existent in the market. But since this product is directed to the aftermarket and the telematics and fleet management markets, as well as the insurance telematics market, it is a connected device which allows you to have real-time alerts as well as post-event analysis and general fleet analysis in the favor of the fleet owners. Now, it is designed for fleets, so it's not only an algorithmic solution. We do understand the fleet environment, and we are giving benefits, and we'll talk about it later, to these fleets. Now, it's important to say that Cipia FS10 has an enhanced Mobileye integration, which means that it's not only integrated with a Mobileye device, in case you have a Mobileye device or you are doing a combined application, but we are also capable to transfer the Mobileye device, which is not a video-based connected device, to a full video and image-based connected device, because we are giving information, footage information of what's going on the road for the Mobileye device. And one of the main assets and capabilities that we are bringing to the marketplace is false alerts prevention and moderation. Everybody who is involved in video telematics in the fleet environment knows that false alerts are a major issue because they might actually kill the feature if you are sending too many alerts to the dispatcher. And we have put a lot of effort and a lot of mechanisms in order to avoid this type of problem. Looking a little bit into the Cipia FS10, and you can see it here in a different lens. So we are covering, as I said, the whole set of driver monitoring features in existence in the marketplace. The first one is drowsiness and sleep. We are following drowsiness signs, and with a moving time interval of 3 minutes, we are capable to detect if somebody is getting tired and getting tired to a point that his driving is dangerous. If somebody is aware of the Karolinskaya scale, we support detecting drowsiness at levels 7 and 8, which are dangerous levels. But we are also supporting full driver asleep, which means that the eyes are closed for more than 1.5 seconds. And this is important and very, very easy to imitate and test. Second feature that we support is distraction. We are following the head pose and we are following the gazing direction. And this way, we are capable to detect whether the driver is looking at the road or is looking elsewhere. But we do have a set of mechanisms that allows us to control it in a way that the customer can fine-tune an installation to the specific vehicles that he have, or to the specific sensitivity that he needs, and this way to avoid false alerts. Now, this is being done by controlling the angles on the sides of the driver, left and right and up and down. And for instance, if you are dealing with a mining vehicle or maybe a port authority crane, then due to the structure of the vehicle, driver usually looks down because he's high and he has a very vertical windshield. In most of the system, we consider the sleep and distracted, and we can fine-tune the angles in a way that you want. We're also controlling thresholds, so customer can program sensitivity in a very nice way. We are not alerting when the vehicle is making a turn or going backwards, and this way we're saving again many false alerts. And with the same angles that I described, we can allow the customer to control the sensitivity. If the angles are wide, sensitivity is low. If the angles on the sides of the driver are narrow, then sensitivity is high. We will also be able to defer between messages to the driver that needs to get an alert every time that he is moving his head from the road, and alerts to the dispatcher that needs to understand the condition of the driver, but not to watch every time that he is moving his head from the road. And this is important in order to offload the dispatcher. Now, we will also support seatbelt not used. We support phone use. Every time a phone is seen in the thing, we will alert phone use. We are capable to alert when the driver is smoking. And we are capable, of course, to supply footage, images or videos with a programmable length for those events. We do have a facial recognition feature that allows us to use it as a driver ID feature, like you will use a Dallas key, for instance. And it will be able to identify the driver very easily. We are capable to download profiles of driver into each device, so you don't need to enroll a driver to each specific device, upload devices, and store up to 20 profiles in a device, so you can manage an endless number of profiles in this way. And we do have camera status and tampering detection mechanism, so we will be able to detect physical tampering as well as attempts to hide the driver field as a system field of view, and this way to prevent the system from action. Even if somebody will try to cheat the system and put a picture of a live driver in front, we are looking for livelihood signs and will not be misled by this. System, by the way, is the connected system. So in our case, it is connected to the Wialon system, and you, as Nawaz will show you later, you can do a lot with this connection in the favor of the fleets that you are supporting. Okay, now let's go to a small, nice demo. The person you see here, and by the way, before saying it, maybe two quite important points. First of all, Cipia FS10 and its DMS algorithms are capable to overcome sunglasses, unless they are fully UV protected, which reflects something like 3% of the sunglasses in the world. So most of them will be penetratable by our infrared illumination. And by the way, we are certified as a safe infrared illumination, which is important, of course. So we are capable to give our full functions with drivers that wear sunglasses. And also, when you are wearing a medical mask, COVID-19 days, we are capable to do all the features except, of course, facial recognition. Now, if you look here at the pictures that comes from our technician monitoring system, the person you see here is Tal Kshipo, who is a colleague, vice president of product at Cipia, responsible mostly to the OEM tier 1 business. And Tal is identified by the system, as you can see at the left side of the picture. Tal is a real driver. We detected livelihood signs. The square around his face shows the head pose, and the numbers on the sides are showing the eye opens, which are numbers that are being used. System also detected he's wearing glasses, which is important, and the circles on the top are actually showing the indications that the system will give. Now let's bring Tal to life, and we'll see what's going on. So Tal is putting a seat belt. The red sign on the top becomes blue. Now he took the sunglasses. You can see clearly that we see through it.
Phone use detected.
Phone use has been detected. And he's driving.
Smoking detected.
Now he's smoking, and this has been detected as well. Now he looks down.
Distraction alert.
And the system identified he is distracted. And now we'll stop the car because we don't want to kill Tal, and we let him go to sleep. So his head goes down.
Distraction alert.
And then asleep.
Driver asleep. Distraction alert. Distraction alert. Driver asleep.
Now here, till now it was a real live demo. Now we are illustrating the fact that we can detect areas of interest and not alert in case, or alert in a different timeout. This will be more accurate in case driver is looking at the dashboard or at mirrors. And in this case, he is allowed to look at it as long as he's not looking at it for a very long period. Okay, now let's look a little bit about topologies. In the combined environment of Cipia and Wialon, we have two ways to install a Cipia FS10. The first one is a standalone mode. Actually, the Cipia FS10 is not connected to anything and is giving indications only to the driver. But even in this case, a customer can program the system to put all the information, all the track record needed into the SD card that can be installed in each Cipia FS10 device. The second possibility is LTE connected solution, where Cipia FS10 will talk with Cipia's middleware server that will talk with the Wialon server, and all the events will get to the Wialon server, to your account, and will show you locations and driver monitoring information of the vehicle which is being tracked. This is a case that we'll demonstrate later. If you are looking a little bit inside, then we are equipped, Cipia FS10 is equipped with an LTE modem, Cat4, LTE Cat4, which allows us to upload videos, images, and of course alerts, but also to in-cabin integration of various applications, and there is a large number of such applications. As we say, Cipia FS10 is adapted to the fleet environment. We do have GPIOs to trigger video. We do have RS-232 to communicate with telematics unit. Same thing with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi can serve as a meaning to communicate with the Wialon server, as well as LTE, say in cases where there is hotspot in a bus or something like this, and then we can avoid the need to use a SIM card with the LTE. We have GPS that allow us to do basic trackings, and accelerometers that will allow us to detect movements, speeds, which are important for various thresholds, and directions, whether the vehicle is making a turn or whether the vehicle is going backwards. We do have a speaker, so we have audible alerts. We'll talk about it in a second. Mic is today disabled. In the future, it will be used for communication between driver and headquarters. We are using an infrared camera sensor, and we are using Cipia's driver sense software to do the algorithmic detections. There is a possibility to add a forward-facing camera that currently is used for the Mobileye integration, and in a second we are going to talk about it. Looking at the device, so we have at the front infrared lens, and we also have a visual indication and speaker indication. And actually, driver in the cabin is capable to receive three types of alerts. The first one is a speaker alert, simply an audio alert in any language. Of course, English, Spanish, or Arabic or Hebrew are available, or others as well. And we have translated it to many other languages as well. And then the driver will hear exactly what are the problems that he is facing. Phone use detected, seatbelt not detected, etc. And another two possibilities is to use the IR lamp in front of you. Allow me for a second. Another possibility is to connect one of the GPIOs of the system to a vibration device and put the vibration device under the chair of the driver, and then to program which events we want to trigger vibration. Usually, it is done only on drowsiness and sleepy events, but customer can do whatever he wants. We do have functional buttons that allows us to put the system into privacy mode, to reset the device, and even to program it as a panic button. A device can be mounted from the top and the bottom, and the car door allows us to put here SD card and LTE. External second camera port will allow us to connect front-facing camera. We have logo here. You can have it as white labeled or with Cipia logo. System LED with few indications, 3 colors, 3 rates, volume button, and of course the mouse that can come from the bottom and the top and allows us to hook the device either to the dashboard or the windshield. Okay, I think that at this moment, this is the right time to move the control to Nawaz, who will actually take you through the Wialon side of the Cipia Wialon operation. Nawaz, please.
Thank you, Israel. So I believe all our viewers have enjoyed the presentation, and I see how dynamic this device is and all the cool features it has. So now we will take a look at how this device can be used with the leading monitoring platform, Wialon. So I will be sharing my screen and you will see the Wialon interface next. Okay, so let's start. Firstly, I would like to show you how you can add a Cipia device as a unit in the Wialon system. So as you all are already aware, you can track any kind of object using Wialon. It can be a vehicle, person, or whatever object it is, using the GPS devices. So to add these objects which you want to track in Wialon system, the first step is to create them as a unit. And that can be done from the Units tab over here. So you can click on the New Unit button and start selecting the device which you have, which you are using. For example, in this case, we are using Cipia. So we will select the device type as Cipia, and then we will create it. So let me show you one example of a unit which I created. So you will understand how we can create Cipia units. There is a slight different process for connecting Cipia devices to Wialon, unlike the regular ones, where when you select the device type, you get the IP address and port number here. So usually you point the device to this IP and port. But in case of Cipia, it's not in this way. And it's even there is no necessity of giving IMEI number in the unique ID. So the process goes this way. You select the device type and then you click on the settings button beside it. And here you will receive email ID and password from the Cipia team. So that email ID and password needs to be entered here in the parameters. And once you save it, your unit will start sending the information to Wialon. So that's the procedure of connecting the devices to Wialon. Now, before I proceed further, I would like to invite all the participants to post your questions if you have anything related to Cipia or Wialon in the chat, in the Q&A box, which we have down there. So we'll address all of them at the end of the session. Okay, so once you have added the system in the Cipia device in the system, you can then see the messages coming in from the device in the Messages tab. So when you go to Messages, you can select the unit which you created, and you can select duration and trigger a message report. So this is how your messages would look like. You can see the date and time for each message coming in from the device, the location, and all the parameters the device is sending. in the parameters column here. So talking about the parameters, Cipia devices send different parameters, and the most important one, which is the event which the device detects, that is sent in a parameter called event ID. So you can see there is a parameter called event ID, and each event is having a specific code. And on the event parameter, you can see the meaning of this code which is being received. For example, if there is a tampering detected, the event ID is 25, and the event description is tampering detection. So that's the way how device is sending the parameters. If you would like to know in detail how the device is sending the parameters, you can check our website. In the hardware section, you can search for Cipia device, and here you will see the description of all the parameters that we are receiving from the device. So it becomes easier for you to configure it. Now, the device is online, and we can see this green dot, which displays that, okay, I have added these units and they're online. So now I need to do the next step. Since it is a device with the video features, we'll first go to the CMS interface and enable the video feature for this unit. So I will switch to the CMS. For those who don't know CMS, this is the customer management system where you can manage all your customers and all the access rights and so on for them. So here we are providing the access to the vehicles, to these units, to enable the video features. So what I need to do is go to the video tab over here. Let me show you from the beginning. So this is the video tab. Here you will get a list of all your accounts which you have in your Wialon system. So you can click on the account, and you will see all the units here, which you are already having the video module enabled. Now, if you want to enable it for a new unit which you created, click on the Add Units button and select the new unit which you want to enable the video module for, and move it to the right side and apply. As soon as you apply, you will see that one data packet for this unit is purchased. Now, in order to see the videos from the device, you need to have the data packet purchased from CMS. Only then the video module will be working. So the data consumption is shown over here, right beside each unit. You can see here there is a purchase button. So if you would like to purchase additional packets, you can do that. And click on the purchase button. Each packet is having a size of 1 GB, and that is shown here, and the consumption will be shown beside it. So if you see that a packet is going to expire for any unit, you can come here and purchase it. Or you can also set automatic packet purchases from this option on the top. Okay, so once you enable the video feature for this unit, you can go back to the Wialon system, and the next step is to go inside that vehicle. In the Units tab, you edit the vehicle, the unit, and here you will now be seeing a video tab under the unit. So you can go there and you can set the cameras. Since this device has a camera, a single camera facing the driver, I have set only one camera here, and I have named it as driver facing. In future, when the device, Cipia device will have a road facing camera too, as Israel mentioned, you can add another camera over here as well. So once the camera is set up, you can switch to the video tab, and here you will see the files section where you will see the video files that are getting saved from the device. Now, how are these video files getting saved here? So in Wialon, there is an option to set notifications. In the notifications tab, I have set up several types of notifications here. These notifications can firstly alert you whenever some event happens, either through email, through Telegram, through SMS, etc. And at the same time, it can also save a video clip of that event as a file in the system. So let me show you one notification for phone use, which I configured. For example, I'll edit this. So I've selected on my vehicles, And I have selected parameter in a message as the notification type. And I have entered the parameter phone use, which is coming from the device. And whenever this parameter is received, I want the system to display an online pop-up for me, send a mobile app notification, and at the same time, save the video as a file. So when I enable the save video as a file option, whenever such event is recognized, in the video tab, in the file section, you will see a small video clip has been saved for that event. So you can always click on it and watch this video. Like here, this was a phone used by our colleague. So you can see that the system has detected a video for that event. At the same time, these videos are also visible in the messages tab. So in the messages tab, you have a column called video, where you can see a button for a video icon. So you can click and see the video of that particular message, which the system has detected. Okay, so this is about the setup of notifications and the video features. Apart from this, we also have reports from the system. We can get a report for all the video events that are getting saved. And these video events which are getting saved can also be shown as an eco-driving report. For example, in the units tab, in the eco-driving section here, we are able to set the different criteria for drivers' driving behavior. For example, I have set a criteria phone use and tampering detection. And this is because I have already set up some sensors beforehand, because the device is sending me the event ID with different parameter codes. So that I have converted in as a sensor in Wialon. So now Wialon system knows whenever a particular event ID is sent, what does that event means. Now using these sensors, I have created eco-driving criteria in this section, eco-driving section here. So once this criteria is set, I will be able to go to my reports tab and run a report for the eco-driving. So this is one of the reports. Let me edit and show you how I have created it. So I have selected the type as unit, and I have added a table called eco-driving. In this table, I selected a few columns which I want to see in my report. At the same time, I also added another table called trips. So even that is what I want to see in my report. Now let's execute the report for 1 month and see what data we have. So as you can see, we have two tables here. First one is eco-driving. It shows me all the violations, phone use, tampering detection, etc. with the beginning and end date of the violation, the penalty we are charging for each violation, and also we are seeing the duration of the violation and the video. So if you click on the video icon, again, the video clip of that violation is shown even from the reports. And we also have the trips report. So we can see the beginning and end of any trip, who was the driver driving, the duration, the mileage, etc. All these reports can be exported into several formats like Excel, PDF, HTML, XML, etc. Okay, so that's about the reports and sensors. The same eco-driving functionality is also available on our eco-driving tab application. So for those who are not aware, on the apps menu here on the top, we have several niche applications created by us. These are applications targeting specific industries. So we have one app called eco-driving. And if you open this app, you will see the all your vehicles which you added in the system. And you can select a few vehicles to see the comparison between them. For example, let me add all available and select a date range of last 2 months. Let's see the performance of our drivers. So as you can see, there is some eco-driving criteria set for these 3 vehicles. So it shows me the rank of these vehicles based on their performance. The penalty which is very high is for this unit, 2005. It has 900 penalty points. So the rank of this unit is very low. It is 1.7. The lower the rank, the bad the performances. So the ranking system goes from 1 to 6. 6 is the best rank in our case. So here we have the best unit among all of them is 5.9 rank, and it has done the least violations. The same thing can be seen from a driver's point of view also, not just from the unit point of view. So if I switch to drivers here, I can select the drivers which I have, and I can see these two drivers have their driving report here, and one of them is having a very nice rank. The other has, which is me, is having a very bad rank because I tend to make a lot of violations on road, it seems. So if the manager wants to see what these exact violations are, he can click on this driver name, and it takes you to a chart and a map which shows the route where the driver was going, and it also gives a marker, so you can click on it and see when a violation happened, what was the violation about, and this way you can trace back the driver's violations. You can even export this report in the form of Excel or PDF, as you can see here. So I believe that's all from my side. And I will pass the mic now to Israel again to take you through the next topics for today's session. Over to you, Israel.
Okay, thank you, Nawaz. I was disappointed to find out you're such a bad driver and you're trying to control the system, but knowing you, it's not the case. Anyhow, I will reshare the screen again with you, and we will go right now to our case study. And we are going to talk now about Zumano and Zoo Telematics and their specific application. So first of all, the owner of Zumano and Zoo Telematics is right now in the audience, so I am now under test. But there is a lot of appreciation to the work they are doing, and I'm feeling very comfortable, of course, to present them. So a little bit about Zoo. Company is based in Sudan, and it's a fleet telematics provider that works all over East Africa. And the combination of Wialon and Cipia created a new offering, which is branded as Zumano platform for driver monitoring. And the major and first customer of this is a large, we are not mentioning names here, but it's a very, very well-known name, and large multinational petrochemical supplier, which operates between other places in Uganda, which Uganda is the target territory for the project. And as a petrochemical company, they are very proactive in their safety approach. And maybe the questions about, I mean, the description about the challenges that they are facing will explain why. What is the challenge? Why a petrochemical company will look at driver monitoring is a very, very, very essential. So first of all, we are talking about the fact that they are carrying hazmat, they are carrying hazardous materials. And there is a high risk, not only to the driver, but also to the environment. I mean, when there is a regular accident, if I can call any accident in the world regular, because people are hurt and equipment is damaged and there is a financial damage, but in a case of petrochemical and hazardous materials, such an accident has a multiplication factor, I would say, in the implication of it. Environment can be hurt. People around can be hurt. We're talking about risk for fires, explosions, poisoning the environment in a way. And as such, petrochemical companies are very, very careful and are oriented to be very and tend to be very sensitive to accidents and their implications, because it's also a corporate risk. It hurts them. We have another case in Peru, for instance, in mining area, that every time that there is accident, the tribes around the mining are closing the roads. Okay, and the damage becomes much more than the cargo, the vehicle, and the insurance implications. Now, the solution, of course, is a driver monitoring, a real-time feedback to drivers and to the dispatch, which allows managers to prevent accidents. We're not talking about post-effect, about post-event effect. We are talking about the capability to tell a driver, my dear friend, you are not concentrated or driving, or my dear friend, you are tired, take a rest, then take the vehicle, and later on to do assessment, to do post-event analysis in order to prevent future accidents, and of course, to be able to analyze the data and get to much more sophisticated conclusions, like, for instance, to know which drivers are tired in which times, or what are the best shifts that we can do, etc. And altogether, it gives quite a comprehensive solution to the petrochemical company. So the project gives benefits. It improves driver performance because in the things that they control, it gives them feedback when they are not concentrated. System will tell them that they need to put attention to their concentration level. It creates reduction in crashes, in downtime, in collateral damage, environmental damage. So it reduces the risk and it reduces the total cost of ownership when we are talking about driving and fleet safety. So that's it. That's the story of Zumano and their petrochemical project. And I think we are at the point of telling you the whole story. Nawaz, maybe here you can add something.
Yeah, I mean, that's that's the cool features we have about Cipia and Wialon together, which we seen today. And the use case which Israel mentioned, that's my personal favorite also. I see we have a lot of interesting questions coming in from the audience, and I was just reading through them, and our colleagues are also trying to address. So yeah, from my side, that's all. And I have one last comment, that I saw a question about the Wialon's video module on the mobile application. So if you want to see the Wialon video features in Wialon mobile app, yes, we have that also. So you can see that on the latest updates, you have received a new video tab in the mobile application, so you can use these features there as well. That's all. So Israel, if you would like to add something.
No, I'm really thankful for the time everybody dedicated to it. Actually, I see on the chat channels that there were a lot of questions going back and forth, and our colleagues gave them very nice answers. Maybe if you do have more questions, you can put those questions in the contact us at Cipia, or to do it through Wialon staff as well, and we'll be very glad to address your questions. We will also I will put my mail address, and Michael, you can put your mail address if somebody wants to, so you can approach us as well.
Yeah, in fact, I saw a question in the chat where someone asks, what is the business model of Cipia for Wialon customers?
Okay, that's a good one to answer. So actually, Wialon business model is Cipia business model with Wialon is comprised from two different aspects. The first one is a one-time charge for the device. I saw that Michael answered somebody who said, what's the price range? Of course, under NDA, we'll give it to you, but this is, I can assure you, a competitive price. But since we are using the Cipia server in order to communicate with Wialon, as I showed in the presentation, then there is a very, very low, below the $1 monthly charge for the usage of this server to communicate with the Wialon server. And that's actually our business model.
Okay, that's cool. And there are a lot of other questions. For example, there is one question about Wialon's RAG report. Does Wialon have a option to generate a RAG report using the events that are generated from EcoDrive? So yes, the answer is yes, it is possible to generate such a report. In fact, I can quickly share my screen to show you how to do that, just for your future reference. So I hope you're able to see my screen. Here we have option to do it for a group of drivers. So I will select the type of the report as group of drivers and select eco driving table. And I will select all my columns what I need. So there will be a column called ratings by violations. I will enable that. And then I can save it. So when I run this report now for our drivers, let's see. Score-based rating, we enable this. So here, if you see in the settings, there is option to set the colors for different ratings. So the one is the red because that is the least interesting driver. So you can just see that with the color, and green will be the best driver. So this way I have enabled the rating, and then you can select the driver from the list and create, I actually don't have a driver group, I guess. That's why I'm not seeing it. But you can see a driver group drop down here, where you will see a list of all the drivers with the comparison and their coloring as a RAG report. So yes, that is possible.
Okay, maybe Nawaz, there is another question that Faiz, I lost his name here, asked on the QA channel. We have too many questions channels here. Whether it can track devices using the Cipia FS10. So Cipia FS10 has basic tracking capabilities. In the cases that you don't go deep to canvas interfaces and stuff like this, you can use its telematics features as well.
That's great. So what other questions we have? I think there are too many in the chat. It will not be possible to answer all of them, but what we'll suggest is you can always, we have our email IDs here. So let me leave even my email ID. So anyone has any technical questions from Wialon side, you can email me on this ID. And Israel and Michael have already shared their IDs too. So I hope that should help. Let's see if there are any other open. Can I implement Cipia software on a different hardware?
There is a possibility. It's not the subject of this, but it's quite expensive possibility. It includes our support in projects and stuff like this. And usually it's an option OEMs and tier ones are using because we are talking about millions of dollars. Usually customers at the aftermarket will use the device as it is.
Okay, so I believe that's all. We will, sorry for those questions which we were not able to address. So we thank you all for joining us today to this webinar. And as I said, you can always reach us to these email IDs, and we will take up your queries from there. So thank you everyone once again. And
Okay, thank you everyone.
yeah. Have a nice day, everyone.
Have a nice day. Bye.